Hi, I'm Liz from Thibodeau Media Group.
And I'm Tori from the award-winning Rigo Productions.
Hey, I'm award-winning too.
I know she is. She has many more awards than I do.
And it's
To Producer Tuesday.
So, Tori, when does size matter?
Size does matter.
When is shorter better?
Shorter is better if you live on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or Twitter. Did I already say Twitter?
Well, what we're talking about today is the length of your video on social media, but you know we kind of want to cover a few things here. You just got fed up with some
Yep. So we're putting out a lot of we run promoted posts on Facebook and other places a lot for our clients. And recently there was something that changed, and it was within the last week or so, and it had a little metric on the side. So when you loaded up that video to be promoted
on Facebook,
it actually came up with like a little checklist that they wanted to run through, a checklist of like, these are all the things that are going to make your promoted post a little bit better. Of course, the video should be in high definition or HD, but one of the things that it listed was your video should be at least 3 minutes long. It said if it's 3 minutes long, it's going to have a much better response on Facebook than if it's not. Well, the thing is that for many, many years now, I've been living in a 2-minute world or less, and now we have 6-second ads that are ads, 15-second spots that can be run on Google and YouTube and other things like that. But it was the first time that I actually had some metric tell me your video should be longer.
So I'm sure that's based on engagement and views, but I think what's super important here is that we differentiate for our audience the difference between ads and content, which is kind of what we're all about. We talk about it all the time with our digital content pillar. But why don't you talk about the difference between an ad and content?
So when you film an ad, you're going to have a really specific purpose. Let's just call it a TV ad. That TV ad's going to have a message to it. It's going to be very specific, scripted. You're going to shoot it, it's 30 seconds. You know it's going to go on TV. Well, now there's a different type of ad that you can run that's goes in front of a video on YouTube or maybe in front of some other content that you're going to watch that might only be 6 seconds. That's Google, YouTube types of things like that. Well, the type of ad needs to change now because obviously six seconds is much, much shorter. And advertising agencies want to show that 6 seconds was completely watched. So if it's a promoted post, they want to see that metric. They want to see that you watched it, and people jump off after 6 seconds. They don't really want to watch more than 6 to 8 seconds. But the real difference is that there's a difference between an advertisement and content.
Right.
So like this, what you're watching right now is content.
Hopefully.
It's good. It is content.
Yeah,
is it good content? We hope. But it's
content. Is content.
It's not an ad, so of course we're not going to run it for 6 seconds. But we do want to put some good information in that first beginning of the video at the least.
So I saw one of the little notes about 6 seconds and people dropping off after 3 seconds, and they were saying, really, the shorter the better, the shorter the better. But you still have a message you have to get out. And they made a joke in this article about, it's the length of time it takes you to spin around in your chair. Go ahead and try it. Well, when Katie Guido came on board, that's how I announced, hi Katie, that's how I announced her arrival on the team. Spun her around, literally, hey, it's Katie, spun her around in a chair. That was it. It got the highest...
A lot. It got a lot.
It got the most engagement of anything I've ever done in my entire career, which, so, their spinning around in a chair was serious.
It was huge.
But, so, Tori, if I have, 6 seconds, or even if you're going to do a 30-second ad, I would think your branding has to be right up front, and your call to action has to be like, if it's an ad, all over the place, because if you're going to lose people at 3 or 4 seconds, they better know who you were.
You're done.
Yeah.
And in many cases, really what that is, in my opinion, is more of an impression. We need to create an impression. And, much like a billboard, on the side of the road when you're driving by, you're not trying to read the full menu of a restaurant there. You're trying to read a tagline.
Right.
And if you can deliver that tagline and keep whatever product or service is top of mind, then you've succeeded. So when you're talking about a 6-second spot or something like that, you're not getting into some description about something. You want to just put it out there. And I don't know if I've already talked about this on the show or not, but there was kind of a goof that, can you create a 1-second video? And you're like, oh, what are we going to do in 1 second? And of course, there's an animated GIF or something like that. But the Capitals did it with Ovi for Christmas, and all he did was go, "Merry Christmas." That was 1 second, and it got lots and lots and lots of views. Of course, Ovi's a big guy, and that's probably why. But it was a 1-second video that was successful. And you know what I was thinking about all day on Christmas? The Capitals.
Right.
So, you know, it was really, really good. But anyway, short videos like the 6-second video, like a 15-second video, have a very specific purpose. That's an advertisement. And generally speaking, it's not going to be content unless it's on something like maybe Snapchat or, you know, what is similar to Vine, TikTok, or some other places
Well, and
like
it's
that.
critical that you plan it and execute it properly. You know, think the next time you're on your mobile device and you're scrolling, you I don't know if you coined the phrase thumb stopper, but what makes you stop on an ad? Just think about it. If you're about to place an ad or you're going to do this for your company or your service, the next time you're playing around, what makes you stop?
Yeah, because you can mindlessly scroll.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story about mindlessly scrolling through Facebook. But really, what is going to make you stop?
Right.
And I'll say this and then I'll finish. I don't know how much longer we've got. But the idea is that you really need to know what your customers are looking for.
Right.
And so if you know that they're really interested in the color red, then do ads on the color red. And if you're going to put out green stuff, then they're just not going to watch that. So the shorter it gets, the more planned your message has to be. And I'll just throw it out there. It doesn't necessarily mean it's always cheaper.
No.
But you know, the idea is that a 6-second ad has to be very well thought out, and you know, make sure that it's for a purpose, an advertisement, and that's different than content.
So next week I want to talk about a short ad, but you know, what shape should it be? Everyone's you know, hitting us up about that.
Yeah.
Horizontal, square, vertical. There's some real metrics about that, and just some helpful tips on how you should describe and title your ads.
Yeah. So we're not just producing video; we're trying to figure out and make sure that we know everything about what happens
Right.
afterwards. And so that's what makes us good at what we do.
Yeah, well, we want you to be successful, right?
I do.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us. See you next Tuesday.
Bye.